Hello, guys. How we doing? Welcome to the West Ham World Podcast, episode 2. Yeah, mate. Finally, Lopetegui has got off. Got off the mark. Finally got a win. Yeah, let's go through it, mate. So when the lineup come out, mate, you text me and went, "I'm not doing a podcast tomorrow because I can't talk about those 3 players."
Yeah.
Was he justified in playing those players?
I suppose on the one hand, you have to say yes because he got the result. But for me, and we'll go more in depth into this. But for me, when he made the changes, the game changed.
That's exactly what I was going to say, mate. First
Yeah.
half, I thought we sort of didn't really do anything. We handled them quite well in stages, but yeah, until the substitutions, mate, we didn't really look much of a threat, did we?
No, we didn't. And like you say, mate, going back to when the lineup come out, very, very worried. We said last week, after last week's display, surely it will change it up. Going forward, it didn't. When it came out, it was an unchanged team. I was very, very worried. I could understand Mavropanos keeping his place because I think he was decent last week.
Yeah, and I thought he played well yesterday as well.
Very good yesterday. Yeah. But the biggest two that had to change was Antonio and Soufal. And to see them starting, I couldn't believe it.
I said that in my preview. I said, look, I'm happy for one to start. And that one was Souček because people were digging me out going, I suppose you cheered to go. I suppose you cheered to go. Yeah, because I'm a West Ham fan. I'm not a mug. You know what I mean? Like, of course I cheered the goal. But in my preview, if you watched it, I said, Antonio and Soufal out, I'm happy for Souček to start because there is a threat that he offers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was quite happy with in terms of the first half, though, I was happy with one player I thought was better performance than what we've seen so far. I think you all agree, mate, is Rodriguez. I thought he was having some nice little touches. He looked a bit more active. What did you make of him, mate, in the first half?
Very good. I actually texted you, mate, and said, it's going to take a few games for him to get up to speed of the Premier League. Coming into the Premier League is difficult for any player. And he's not got the biggest pace in the world, but you can see he's starting to grow into it. He's starting to get used to the pace a little bit, and his positioning, his anticipation's excellent. He knows where he needs to be, and his distribution's very good. I was really, really pleased with him yesterday. And I said to you, you can tell he's going to be a big player. He's going to be a big player. It's going to take him again. He's getting there. He's getting up to speed, and once he gets there, yeah, he's going to be a great player for us. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing him, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him and Alvarez together, which obviously we saw a little bit,
which was really good.
yesterday.
Yeah, when it happened, wasn't it, in the second half towards the end there. Alvarez, great to have him back as well. But yeah, they hit the bar from Eze. They're probably the better chance of the first half. I don't really remember too many for us. I remember Kudus had one where he sort of cut in it with the left foot. Apart from that, I don't really remember many chances for us.
No, well, we had that Kudus one, cutting it with his right foot went just wide. We had two chances where the ball from corners where Antonio nearly got on.
The flick
back
on
post.
Right,
he probably should have scored one of them, to be honest. But apart from that, like you say, Eze had that chance that hit the bar. Weren't much. We didn't have a shot on target in the first half. There weren't much more than that.
Second half happened, mate. Went a little while, about 15 minutes, and then big changes happened, mate. And straight away, you see the difference, mate. Wan-Bissaka came on, energy, went past the man, supplied the ball to Bowen. Bowen sort of drove in, give it to Paquetá, missed the shot, went to Füllkrug, he flapped a bit, Souček egg in the box, mate. And Wan-Bissaka, though, created that, mate. It was all from his drive and run.
Mate, and absolutely, those two, when he came on, Füllkrug came on, Füllkrug caused a bit of chaos in the box for that first goal as well. They changed the game. They completely changed the game.
Is it good to have subs? And it's good to actually have a manager that has a sub that wants to change the game rather than a sub to try and secure a 0-0 draw?
Yeah, but the question then becomes, right? So obviously, we now are hoping that we're going to see Wan-Bissaka start at right back now. We're going
Oh,
to
it has
see
to next week, surely,
has to,
against
yeah.
Doku.
And then you'd like to think, I'd like to think that Fulkrug's going to start because again, Antonio for me offered
Oh, he's
nothing.
done. He's finished, mate. He's the worst of them three.
Yeah.
Of the three that we keep digging out, he's the worst one.
But then going back to your point of, and it's good to have subs when they're starting. Who are the subs then?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That is a good point. That is a good point, mate. Because then your subs are Antonio, Soufal. Yeah, we did. Somerville didn't come on yesterday, did he? No, he didn't. No. But yeah, that is a fair point, mate. Then you've got no impact if you need it. This is as a valid point.
But yeah, those changes, mate.
His cameo was brilliant, though. Like he was brilliant when Wan-Bissaka when he came on.
Yeah,
even his first touch, didn't he like just sort of touch it around someone?
Yeah, you could see, for all the he's no good going forward. Well, I think he's out to prove people wrong on that. But not just he offered so much more of a threat going forward. Driving at players. Defensively, he's brilliant as well. You could see the tackles he was making.
Freed up Bowen as well, and no coincidence, Bowen's.
Do you know what I noticed, right? And maybe I'm reading too much into this. I don't know, but something to look out for going forward. And Wan-Bissaka's got this reputation of being the best one-on-one defender in Europe, right? He's got that reputation. Watch when wingers come up to him, they don't want to take him on.
Yeah, because he's got that Spider-Man tackle in him.
Yeah, because of that reputation, they don't want to take him on. They pass it, they try and pass it around him. Just something I noticed, players. Whereas when it was Soufal there, they're like, they'll stand him up, they'll have a go at him. But Wan-Bissaka, they didn't want to do it, and I found that really interesting. Yeah, something to keep an eye on.
I'll give this one to you, mate. What do you make on that?
Listen, a valued member of the squad who loves West Ham. No one has ever denied that, mate. No one's ever denied that. I don't think you've ever seen either of us say he's not a valued member of the squad. Of course, he loves West Ham. Listen, I think Souček's a fantastic character. Love seeing him. I don't want Souček to be sold. I just don't think he's what we need in this particular team.
Are you on that though? Are you happy with him playing the position he's playing going forward? Like,
so let me my thoughts on that. Right. So there's no doubt about it. He offers a threat in front of goal, and he does. The commentators say it, everyone says it. He's got that knack of being in the right place at the right time. He goes into the box. He's so good at that. He is so good at that.
Oh,
and
he has about 3 chances a game usually, doesn't he? At least 4 chances a game.
But it's the trade-off, isn't it? You're trading off. You're basically giving away the midfield. That's for me the biggest problem. And yesterday, I think, was a perfect example, especially in the first half. Rodriguez was dropping deep. Souček's pushing up, and obviously that's instructions. And then Paqueta was a one-man midfield. Literally, Paqueta was a one-man midfield. And
I think there's games for him. I think what it is, there's games for Souček, and there's going to be games where we have to have Rodriguez and Alvarez in there.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
I think the problem, Paqueta hasn't been good so far this season, the last couple of games. But I genuinely think it's because he's having to do so much work in the midfield on his own that he's dropping deeper. He's running around trying to cover so many spaces. It's taking part of his game away. So do I personally want to see Souček stay in the team in that role? No. And I'm not trying to take anything away from, obviously he scored yesterday. Fantastic, brilliant, love him, amazing character. Do I think he's the best player to play in that midfield in this team? No, I don't.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, mate. Like you say, I think there's a place for him in the team. And I agree with you, mate. I wouldn't sell him now. I know before we were saying if the money was right, I would. I think I would keep him now. I think I would. We're going to discuss transfers later. Here's one that's been a bit worrying, mate. Constantly keeps coming up. Kudus on the left wing, is he being wasted there? Obviously, naturally a right winger. Yeah. You haven't seen the full best of him. He had bits in Villa game when he went back on the right. But do you think that could become a problem?
I think he's right out there. I do. He's dangerous running at players. Yes, he loses that threat, maybe a cutting inside. I think the biggest problem at the minute is Bowen has been again. This changed when Wan-Bissaka came on. It
come alive. Yeah.
it did free Bowen up. So hopefully, again, when Wan-Bissaka starts, we'll see Bowen come alive a bit. But the problem that Kudus has got at the minute, I don't even know if it's the fact that he's playing on the left. He's being targeted as soon as he gets the ball. There's three
players around him now.
As soon as he gets the ball, 3 players on him, bang. That's not going to change if we move him over to the right-hand side. So
they know how good. I was going to ask you yesterday in the WhatsApp, but I thought I'd save it for you. Is there many better dribblers than him in the Premier League, mate? Can you name many that actually can pick the ball up and just do what he does? There ain't many.
There ain't many, mate. Funny enough, you mentioned Doku. He's probably got that strength, that balance. But no, there ain't many, mate. That's got that drive. I think the biggest problem at the minute is he's fantastic at doing that. He'll make a run. He'll go past 2-3 players, but then he kind of runs into a blind alley.
Yeah.
But again, it's going to take time. You notice this, and again, I said it in our chat yesterday. When we made the changes and we had Kudus, Füllkrug, Bowen, Paqueta, and they were up front together, a lot of the times they were getting in each other's way. I don't think they're on the same wavelength yet. It's going to take a bit of time for them to get into the same wavelength. I don't think Emerson, at the moment, he doesn't overlap really with Kudus. I think because Kudus stays so wide, Emerson's not able to get sort of around the side of him where he was doing that with Paqueta. So it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
Did you know this, mate, as well? Just quickly back on Souček. Did you know that he now has a very similar goals to game ratio as Mr. Tricky Trevor Sinclair with West Ham? No.
Wow, there you go. Yeah.
That is shows he's worth as such, I suppose. The second goal, Max Kilman, man of the match for me anyway. I thought he was immense. Really showed what he was about yesterday. Brilliant on the ball, winning headers, and that run, mate. You said it. It was like Declan. Like Declan had picked the ball up and run. And then I said to you, didn't I? Just as I put it in the chat, I went, God, Kilman, wow. And then he played the pass, and it was like, Jesus Christ. And then bang, worldy of a goal as well.
Yeah, the run, the drive out, the pass, phenomenal. He was phenomenal.
Brilliant.
Easy man of the match yesterday. Let me throw this out there. Should we have made him captain instead of Bowen?
There's an argument, mate, but it's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one to put captain on someone that's just come in. I think Bowen also was done as a real fan, what they called it, fan service. Like he's given a big contract. He's proper West Ham now. Let's give him it. He'll grow into it, I think. I think Bowen will hopefully grow into the captaincy. When he scored the goal, he was pointing straight at it, when he come on, have that. But great performance from Kilman. Anyone else really stand out for you, mate? When Alvarez come on, I thought you looked straight away, bang, big bad Alvarez,
Yeah, really really looking forward to seeing that partnership in the middle. And I think if we play, again, this does mean dropping Souček, but if we play Alvarez, Rodriguez, and then Paqueta in front, I really think that will free Paqueta up to be more dangerous in the game.
What about Matt?
Yeah, he was brilliant. He had that one ricket at the start where he gave the ball away, but he recovered quite well, to be fair, and won the ball back. But apart from that, he was fantastic. He was brilliant. And I agree with him staying in the team because, it's his place at the moment to lose. I think that's kind of what Lopetegui was doing yesterday with Antonio and Soufal. But in my opinion, they already lost their place last week. They definitely lost it now. But Mavropanos, if he dropped him, it would be cruel. It would be. It'd be interesting to see. Sorry, I was going to say it'd be interesting to see who he plays in the cup.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later, who you'd like to see, because I've written a little team on what I think we'll see. Tobido come on as well. Did he give a free kick away? Did he give a free kick away straight away? Yeah. So again, he's maybe still a bit rusty. But I would like to hope he plays on Wednesday, and that's part of my team. But good point. Mav and Kilman were a solid partnership yesterday. Hopefully, starting to build up something that was also, mate, not only great to get the win, but a clean sheet as well. Clean sheet away from home, always massive. Always
clean
massive.
sheet since January.
Yeah, there you go. But great win. Great to get the first win. doesn't get any easier, mate, because next week we play Manchester City and Mr. Erling Haaland is just in ridiculous form.
The thing is, though, the win. I think the win was so important yesterday because it takes the pressure off now.
Mm.
You know, if we had lost and then we lose against City, that's 3 games in a row. You're starting to get a bit nervous. But
yeah, going to the international break and you can't change it for 2 weeks. It starts getting a bit jittery.
Takes the pressure off. You know, it was massively needed. We needed that win.
Especially, they've done a double over us last year, popped us 5-2 last year at their ground. So that was a good result. It was a good result. That, yeah. Boys, with the squad we have, the only piece of the puzzle to solve this is a striker position. I'm prepared to give Fulkrug a chance. We need a Haaland type. Don't every club
in the world, mate. Yeah, needs a
Haaland. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm jesting. I'm joking. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. I'm going to ask Paul a couple of questions. Stupid international breaks, yeah, mate. You tell me about it. Especially.
Do you know what though? I'm buzzing because I'm going to be on holiday, so I'm not going to miss any games.
Oh, nice. Lovely. Right, where was I? Oh, yeah. Yesterday, a Gerd, mate. 2 teams now. Is at the end? Do you think he will go by the end of this week?
I don't know. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't want to see him go because at the moment, you know, we've got 4 centre-backs for 2 positions. So I don't really think if he goes, then I feel like we'll be short there.
Well, 5 because Zuma ain't gone yet, mate.
Well, I think it's safe to say if we don't move Zuma on, we'll cancel his contract. I don't think Zuma's ever going to play for us again. I'm not even including Zuma in the fault. So personally, I don't think he will go. I think you know, Lopetegui said it. He wants 2 players in every position. So for me, that means there's a place there. This is tough. It's going to be something that, again, if it's true, he wants 2 players in every position, which obviously is a great thing. The players are going to miss out on match day squads.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, though. I think it's a good thing.
I do, yeah.
I think it's a good thing. I think for too long, West Ham have had players that are too secure in their position.
I think the biggest thing is he needs to make it clear that just because you're not in the match day squad today, it don't mean you're frozen out. Whereas
and you're a massive part of the team as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You will be needed.
Like that was something under Moyes. Players felt frozen out once they weren't in that core, you know, 13 players.
Yeah, look at Fornells, mate. Look what happened to him. And then the geezer's crying his eyes out when he scores the goal because he's like, oh, finally, I might get a chance.
Yeah. So I think that's very important that, you know, it's clear to the players. Listen, just because you're not in the team, don't mean there's not a place for you. You're not frozen out. You're still in the plans. But yeah, players are going to miss out on the match day squad.
What we got here? Who else do you think's going, mate? Luis Sal, Brazilian wonder kid, is going. 4 million. Apparently, he's gone. I've written down potential goings. I reckon Zuma, a Gerd, and I think maybe Cornet will go. I think Ings stays, Antonio stays, sadly, and Soufal stays as well.
I mean, yeah. Are we asking what I want to happen or what I think's going to happen?
Oh, no, you can say both. Yeah, you can say both. Yeah.
So in an ideal world, I would keep a Gerd. Obviously, Zuma goes. For me, Antonio goes, but then we have to bring another striker in. I would keep Danny Ings. I'd keep him unless we got a decent offer for him. I'd keep him. I think he's looked lively when he's played in pre-season.
Wages,
when he's
it's
made cameos.
with him.
You know, I think he could be useful. I do. I think he could be good under Lopetegui. I would keep him unless we're able to bring in. To be fair, even if we do bring in another striker, I'd still probably keep Danny Ings as long as we can shift Antonio. But for me, it'd be Antonio and Zuma out. I don't know if I'd be looking to sell anybody else.
What about JWP? What sort of future does he have?
Same as the Gerd, mate. There's going to be times where he's not in the match day squad. There's going to be games where he's needed. You know, at times, like you say, we're going to be playing Alvarez and Rodriguez, and then at times maybe he's going to want to play Souček for that threat in the box. Then, at times he's going to want to play George.
What if we expect's going to happen this week? Carlos Soler comes in as well.
That's a good point. But for me, it's a different player. Soler for me is a player to. I
think he's Paquetá's replacement.
I think, yeah. I don't even know if he's his replacement. I think he's there just to give us an alternative option. Because at the minute, when Paqueta's not on it, or he's injured or suspended or whatever, we've got nobody that can play that role. Nobody. There's no one else in the team that can play that role. Soler comes in and he can do that. So it's another option. So I don't think maybe long term you could say, okay, yeah, it's going to replace him. But for me, I think we need him anyway with Paqueta.
Yeah, it's true. Paqueta does have every now and then he has a lot of off days, doesn't he? Where he just just not feeling it. What else do you want to see? And then, like I say, Soler, I've written down.
There has to be a striker.
I'd love John Duran to come in, man. I really want John Duran to come in, but I can't see it unless we can. They're linked with Omaridian, aren't they? If that happens,
no, he's gone to Porto, isn't he?
Oh, is he? Oh,
yeah.
Because they missed out on João Felix, so maybe they're still in for another striker. Potentially, we could get a loan. Maybe we could pull off a loan deal for him. And then Tammy Abraham's name ain't going away. I don't particularly like Tammy Abrahams though.
Do you know? I don't know if Tammy's the guy that we need. Depending on the deal, I wouldn't be massively against it because obviously he wouldn't be coming in as the main man. But yeah, someone like Duran would be ideal. He, we spoke about it last week. He would be perfect for exactly what we need. But yeah, for me, if Soler, assuming Soler comes in, that a striker, a powerful, pacey striker is a must.
What about if there is 40 million freed up, and it was like, okay, let's just put it on the table, and we put on the table for Ivan Toney. Do you think, with a few days left of the window, Brentford would potentially accept it, knowing that they're losing for free next year?
How much?
40 million.
I don't know if I want to pay 40 million for him. I know that seems ridiculous, but just the fact that where he is at the moment and all this uncertainty around him, and he ain't exactly been pulling up trees so far, I don't know if I want to spend 40 million on Toney. I think I'd rather wait, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Bring Chalobah in and a striker position that will help us 100%. Duran will be Villa's first choice if Watkins doesn't improve his finishing. Was obvious it was, mate.
Missed that open goal. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
he's really my fantasy Premier League team.
Yeah. Pay 40 million for Duran.
I agree with
Toney.
that.
Yeah. I'd rather have Duran. 100%. I was just putting it out there as an option. What we got? Bournemouth in the week, mate. Cup game. What changes you want to see? I've put Fab in goal. Soufal, Tobido, probably a good Cresswell, Alvarez, James Ward-Prowse, Bowen, Paquetá, Somerville, and Fulkrug, and maybe Guilherme on the bench. Any other changes for you? Almost seeing Potts in there as well.
Yeah, that's a decent shout. To be fair, I thought you were going to change the entire 11.
No.
That's a decent.
Maybe
shout.
Cresswell doesn't play because Emerson's quite fit, and he's quite fit player. He always seems ready, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'd be wary of changing the entire defense.
Yeah.
Centre back's an interesting one. It'd be interesting to see if Agurd plays. I think if Agurd doesn't play, that might be a sign that he's done.
I want to see Tobido play, but then I want to win it as well. It's you want to win as well. You don't want to change it and then potentially Tobido's not fully ready and then he makes a mistake and kills you confidence.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anyone I'd leave in specifically. Bowen I would play to try and play himself into form a little bit. Absolutely, I think Fulkrug I'd like to see start. Somerville would be good to get a game. Yeah, I quite like your team there, mate. Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah, like I say, maybe you would. Did I have Rodriguez? No, yeah, I went Alvarez and James Ward-Prowse, didn't I? Yeah, I think just to give Alvarez a couple more minutes and James Ward-Prowse just a game, just give him a game. What we doing here? This is a good comment, actually. What would you do with Guilherme this season, knowing he's nowhere near the first team and not playing for the under-21s? It's a hard one, isn't it? It's an hard one. Again, he's another one. I wouldn't mind seeing. I hope he comes on and is given about half hour in the week. What about you?
Yeah, it's weird that he's not playing for the under-21s
and not on the bench.
Yeah,
on the bench though. Like 27 million. I know he's worth that in add-ons, and we probably only paid about 5 or 6 for him, but it's still on it.
yeah. I mean, he's definitely one for the future, clearly. But I don't know what his role is this season. I've got no idea. What would I personally do with him? I don't know. I don't know. That we've got a lot of tough questions with the squad this year, which we're not used to. You know, about with players who's going to play, who's going to get left out, are you going to give him minutes? Yeah, 100%. I'll play him in the cup games. Definitely give him minutes, see what he's about. But I do think it's weird that he's not playing for the under-21s.
Yeah, no, it's weird. Yeah, rest Bowen. Yeah. Who's Guilherme training with? That is the answer to the question. Who knows, mate?
I assume
don't
he
know
is
that,
training
mate.
with the first team. I assume
Oh, he
he's
is,
training
yeah?
with the first.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm assuming. I assume he's training with the first team. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he's used over the season.
What's your prediction for that game? Bournemouth are not great. They're not brilliant. They play today, actually. I think they play Newcastle today. I'd expect us to beat them at home, even with a slightly different choice of first team. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. And again, I think it'd be a good game to win. Obviously, raise morale in the squad. You know, you don't want to be. It'd be good to be going into City with 2 wins behind you.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think we need to go for it, and I'd like to see it. Yeah, interesting. I'm interested to see the team that plays, the setup. Yeah,
maybe seeing like Somerville get his first goal will be quite nice to see. And if Fulkrug starts, you want him to get that goal quickly. As quicker he gets that goal, hopefully the quicker he can get up and running.
Shame he didn't score yesterday. He had a couple of chances. I think that one, he absolutely. I'll tell you what, the boy can hit a ball.
Oh, God,
absolutely belted it. It went wide, but he absolutely smashed that. It's a shame. If he'd have just took it on that first touch, maybe he would have scored. I would have loved to have seen him score that. That was a really good move as well, by the way. We didn't even talk about that. Was that Bowen who released him? Bowen released him into space. Yeah. But yeah, no, 100%, mate. I'd like to see him play and hopefully get his first goal as quick as possible.
Yeah. Let's just move on because me and you won't talk until after this game. Man City on Saturday, is it 12:30? I think it is. I think it's the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. What hope have you got at the minute, mate, against them? They're machine already. Usually they sometimes start a bit slow, but now, listen, KDB and Haaland in the team. Gundogan's just gone back there, and he seems like he's gone back as God. It's a tough game.
Yeah, of course it is.
5:30 kickoff, apparently. Sharky says, thanks, Sharky.
Yeah, of course it's a tough game. Expect nothing, and all you can hope for. Do you know what? Let's
score too early, like Ipswich.
let's try and give them a game. Now listen, this is something I don't blame a manager for doing against a team like City.
No.
But I don't want us to just camp 10 players in the box for 90 minutes because then you.
I'm happy with Alvarez and Rodriguez to play.
Oh yeah, of
together.
Course. Of course.
And then but you still got the Bayern Kudus, Paquetá, and please Fulkrug, please, not Antonio.
Yeah,
God, no.
I want to see us at least try and lay a glove on them. I want to see. That's all. I don't expect us to win. I don't expect us to even score. I don't expect us to get anything. But let's at least try and lay a glove on them. I don't want to see us just go there and give up. I don't want to see us just wave the white flag. You know what I mean?
If you come out the game proud, them games where you come out and you're disappointed, and then you go, "Oh, how good is it that I'm disappointed that we lost that game?"
Yeah,
that sort of performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Again, what changes do you want to see for that, mate? I think we sort of touched on the main one. Has to be Mikel Antonio. Has to be.
Yeah. Someone actually posted in one of the comments, which I agreed with. With going, there you go, that one there.
Yeah, go on, mate. You click it, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Going 3 at the back. I wouldn't be against that. Yeah, with Mavropanos, Todibo, and Kilman as a back 3. To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if he did that as well. It really wouldn't surprise me if he did that. Going 3 at the back against City with Wan-Bissaka can kind of tuck in if needed. Emerson on the left.
Wan-Bissaka has to play because Doku is just going to destroy Soufal like he did last year.
And then you've got Alvarez, Rodriguez, and then you've got. Do you leave them, like you say, just to go nuts up front, Bowen, Fulkrug, Kudus? Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. It wouldn't surprise me if he did it either. It wouldn't surprise me to see him switch because we know he does. He has done that. He did it in preseason. Did it last week, I think. Switched to a back three. So yeah, we could see that. I wouldn't be against that.
Yeah, no, yeah. Like I say, you just got to try your best to do what you can. They beat everyone and they smash everyone. You know, when they've got the best goal scorer, you know, one of the best goal scorers ever lived. I think even you could say that now. One of the best passers in the world. What can you do? You know, what can you do? You just got to try your best. But yeah, if Mikel Antonio starts this game, I'm going to be raging. I can't do it no more. And I don't care if I get pelters, mate. And I say that every day, every week on the show, don't I? Don't care if I get pelters. He's finished. He's absolutely finished.
He's done.
Finished.
I don't know what. I was amazed. He started yesterday. Amazed. Yeah, we need to wrap that up. And thanks for your service, but he's not a Premier League player anymore. He just ain't.
No, but certainly not. No. He can't beat a man. He looks. I don't know. Maybe if he lost a stone, he might be all right again. But he looks like he's carrying a lot of weight as well. He looks a bit sluggish, doesn't he?
Yeah. He ain't got the pace anymore. You know, I don't know what he offers now. I don't know. He can't even bully defenders anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like he tried. It was funny watching him yesterday. Obviously, Mark Guay's like, you know,
he smashed him, didn't he?
Defender. He's obviously the one everyone's talking about at a minute. But he was throwing Antonio around like he was nothing. Like Antonio hasn't even got that strength and presence anymore. He's done. He's done.
Yeah. What's this, Sam? To be honest, it depends on Bournemouth game. Who plays against City? Unused players will be given a chance to play. Yeah, someone like Somerville could have a really good game. I think Somerville will be quite an important member of the squad going forward. I've seen enough of him. You know, even in that little cameo, he looks good enough, doesn't he? Does. Anything else, mate? We don't have to go on any longer than we need to. Yeah.
Here's one that's been because it's been thrown about, and we haven't spoke about it. What about Raheem Sterling?
That's a good question. No, not for me. Not for me. Kudus is better, and I don't want it to stand in Somerville's way either, who I think will be a really important player for us when Kudus goes next summer.
Yeah, I've gone back and forward on it, to be honest. So personally, and I've said this before, I think Sterling is massively underrated. I don't understand the hate he gets. He's a fantastic player.
Oh no, he is. Fantastic player. Goals and that speak for themselves.
Massively underrated.
Can't afford his wages, like you say.
So the thing is with the wages, I think obviously it would have to be subsidised by Chelsea. Nobody. There's not a club in the world who's going to pay him $300,000 a week. So his wages are going to be subsidised anyway. But yeah, if we didn't sign Somerville, he would have been 100%.
Oh yeah, no, then yes, 100%. It would have been okay. Yep, he comes in, he'll do a job.
And then I was like,
he's got a bit of an ego as well. I don't like his ego.
But you know, he's got a bit of an ego. So's Arnautovic. So's Di Canio. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I feel like he gets hated on. I don't know why. But yeah, so with Somerville there, I don't think we need him. But then I started thinking, okay, well, what if we can't bring in another striker? Would I take Sterling as an option there to rotate? All right, let's put it this way. Assuming that Chelsea cover his wages, who are you taking as backup up front, Sterling or Antonio?
Sterling, obviously, because he's better, isn't he?
Yeah. Exactly.
But then there's a good point now. Would you rather have Zaha than Sterling as a striker option?
If you're talking about a striker option, Sterling over Zaha all day long.
Yeah.
Like the goals, like you said, mate, the goals speak for themselves. Zaha can't touch Sterling when it comes to that. So as a goal scorer, absolutely Raheem Sterling. If you were talking about an option on the left, then it's more of a toss-up, you know. But if you're talking about a goal scorer to play up front, Sterling all day over Zaha for me.
Fair point. Last I'll say on transfers, mate, is if West Ham do not sign anyone, and I'm not saying Carlos Soler, let's take him out because I think that will happen. Are you happy with the squad going forward if we don't sign anyone?
If we don't sign anyone, but you're including we sign Soler.
So let's assume Soler's done.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's assume Soler's done, and we don't sign anyone else. Are you happy?
No. Because I feel like we still need that striker, and Antonio needs to go.
So can I just put this up before we carry on?
Thank you very much, Colin.
Thank you, Colin. Great show. We can beat Man City Toledo. Take care of Haaland, and we'll beat them. Supported since the 60s. Keep up faith. Big thank you, Colin. Appreciate that. We'll put that on a bet or something. Probably get 12-1 for West Ham to beat them. If Chelsea were to sub his wages, they may as well keep him. It will affect the wage. Yeah. So carry on, mate. So if we get no one.
Yeah, if we get no one, then I wouldn't be happy because we still need a striker. We do. We Antonio's done. Get rid of him. I'll rip up his contract. Antonio can't play. To have just Füllkrug and Ings, I'm assuming Antonio's not in the squad. That's not enough. You know, we still need that. Totally need that pacey striker, that fast, direct striker. We still need that, in my opinion. If we got that and Soler, this is probably the best transfer window in my lifetime.
Yeah. Is there any others you would have then? So you say Soler comes, a striker comes. What would also be your ideal enter the window? Is there anything else that could happen? And that includes outs as well, outs and ins.
In an ideal world, I would want an upgrade on Cresswell for left back, but I know that's not going to happen. But in an ideal world, if I'm playing Football Manager, I'm replacing Cresswell, and then I'm happy. Yeah.
What about if a Gerd goes as well?
So if a Gerd goes,
is there another centre back issue potentially?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Because then you're talking Mavropanos, Todibo, Kilman. Alvarez can drop in, I suppose. But if he does want to, and we've seen him switch to 3 at the back. If he wants to be able to switch to back 3, if he wants to cover for injuries, suspensions, whatever, I think we need 4 centre backs. Yeah. So, and I'm obviously assuming Zuma's gone.
This is a good little one as well, just to point out. On a great note, Marshall played a full game and got the goal yesterday. That's a youth player to be grown. Yes, it's great to see some of our youth players getting good loans this year. Chilwell was constantly injured. Yeah, I like Chilwell as well. He would have been a good one as sort of him and Emerson could have given competition. But like you say, injury prone, which is a shame because he is a top left back when fit. Same as Reece James, one of the best right backs in the league when fit. I think that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with the Bournemouth preview. And then Bournemouth review, and then Man City build up, and then hopefully me and Paul can get together and do another podcast. We're going to try and keep as consistent as we can with these because we do slack off sometimes. We both do it. We're both guilty of it, but we're going to try our hardest to keep these consistent because they're good shows.
When I'm back off holiday.
Well, you on holiday this weekend?
No, I go away. I'm away not next week, week after for 2 weeks.
Oh, that's all right then, because that's international break.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm pleased because I won't miss West Ham game that weekend in the middle.
Yeah. All right, then, guys. Thank you so much for watching the West Ham World podcast. Until next time, hit the like button before you leave. Come on, you irons. Keep believing. Let's go.
Cheers.